رمضان رمضان شهر الرحمة شهر الغفران رمضان شهر التوبة شهر القرآن رمضان شهر الرحمة شهر الغفران.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to day 18 of this Ramadan program, 1443. And today we're going to be talking about Battle of the Nafs with Sister Aisha Zakaria. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So can you tell us about battling with your nafs?
Battle of the Nafs. We are often faced with desires from within and temptations all around. Those desires that drive you to seek fun in every possible way, permissible or otherwise. It drives you to compete with your peers just to maintain the status quo and pastime. In the same way, you are driven to an inner battle against yourself, to do or to not do, to say or to not say, to listen or to not listen, to touch or to not touch, to look or to lower your gaze. Your nafs whispers to you, telling you, YOLO, you only live once, you have a lot of years ahead of you, and should not stress about worship. These whispers could distract you from the submission to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those distractions could make you feel worried, anxious, and far from contentment. But you have every capability to engage in good and battle those desires. Allah says in Quran 30 verse 30, and so direct your face towards the religion, inclining to truth. Adhere to the feature of Allah upon which He has created you. No changes should there be in the creation of Allah. That is true religion, but most people do not know. Quran 30 verse 30. Your nafs is an inherent part of you. It is the innate portion of your pure fitrah. It has the ability to drive you towards the good and the not so good directions in life.
So tell me, how can you win against your nafs?
How we can win against our nafs? In us, we have the nafsul amara bisu and the nafsul mutamainna. The nafsul amara bisu, the commanding soul, is the soul which makes you to be far away from Allah. The soul that makes you to your desires to win against you. And the nafsul mutamainna is the tranquil soul. It is the soul that strengthens your bond with Allah. If your nafsul amar bisu overcomes your nafsul mutamainna, you will be far from Allah, and the worldly materials, the worldly desires will attract you, and that will loosen your bond with Allah. Your nafs in its original state will do good, like being honest, righteousness to parents, doing good, being truthful. But when your desires should take over, when you cannot control your desire, your bond with Allah will loosen.
So what are those things that can corrupt your nafs?
Okay, things that can corrupt the pure state of one's nafs. Number one is the lack of knowledge. When you lack the knowledge of the Quran and Sunnah, obviously your desires will take the better part of you. When you don't know about the hadiths of the prophets that are supposed to guide you, you don't know about what the Quran says about things, you just feel like, we are in this world, we just came to come and enjoy, we came to enjoy, we're only living once, so let's live the life that we can remember. Number two is the environment you are in. When you are in an environment that are not with two same people, you tend to behave like them because there's something called influence. Number three is the weakness of one's faith. When one's faith is weak, one tends to get attracted by the worldly desires, the worldly materials, and that will divert you from your main purpose on earth. Then number four is the desires itself. These desires are the ones that will now pull you.
Thank you. Can you give us tips to overcome this, please?
Tips to overcome your nerves. So you can overcome your nerves in many ways. So I'm going to be giving you some. One is making dua. When you constantly make dua and you tell Allah to strengthen you, to increase your iman, to guide you from all the worldly attractions, you will be saved by Allah, certainly. Number two is following the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Prophet Muhammad is the role model to mankind. If you follow him, you are going to be able to overcome your nerves. Number three is to think about the results that something gives you. If you don't pray, you know that you feel guilt or you are going to be punished certainly on the day of judgment. So when you think about the good of it, that okay, if I pray, I'll earn reward, you will be determined to pray. And when you think about the bad also, that if I don't pray, I'll be punished. You are not going to do it. Another one is engaging in good and avoiding prohibitions. When you follow the hadith and say that, okay, I'm going to do good and I'm going to avoid these things, they strengthen your bond with Allah. And in this way, your nerves will lead you to the right way. And the last one I'm going to be sharing with you is to purify one's acts with intention. Hadith 1 of An-Nawawi's collection says that innamal a'malu binniyat. Every action shall be judged according to intention. So when you prefer your action that, okay, I'm doing this for the sake of Allah, not for the sake of people praising me, not for the sake of people seeing me, your nerves will become stronger and your bond with Allah will also become stronger.
Okay, thank you so much, mashallah, for enlightening us about the battle of the nerves. And inshallah, may Allah make it easy for us to battle with our nerves. Up next is the second segment of the show, which is the Dua Challenge.
شهر الرحمة شهر الغفران رمضان.
Welcome back to the second segment of the show, the Dua Challenge. Today's dua is ربنا إننا سمعنا مناديا ينادي للإيمان أن آمنوا بربكم فآمنا. Again, ربنا إننا سمعنا منادي للإيمان أن آمنوا بربكم فآمنا. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at MedinaNG, and don't forget to smash that like button. Masalam.
رمضان شهر الرحمة شهر الغفران رمضان شهر التوبة شهر القرآن رمضان شهر الرحمة شهر الغفران رمضان شهر التوبة شهر القرآن